Yo, what is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, we are going to be building one of the best budget squads in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. So I was trying to look for anything, right? Okay, what is the MT requirement for this squad? Started with 100K, and then I got to thinking, okay, most people don't even have 100K. And then I started thinking, okay, what is something that I can give you guys that you guys will want to watch, first of all, and second of all, that can be helpful for you guys. So I just assembled some of the best budget cards in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM, put them together, and then the MT came out right around 40,000 MT. So if you have 50,000 MT, this works for you guys as well. Now I know a lot of you guys probably don't have a ton of MT this early on in 2K, and so hopefully some of these budget options can help each and every one of you guys out that is watching the video. So we're going to start it off at the point guard position with Damian Lillard. Now before I go in and talk about Damian Lillard, if you are new to the channel and have not yet, please consider smashing that subscribe button. So we're on the road to 80,000 subscribers. Dame just does it all for you. If you're looking for an offensive point guard, it looks like to me Damian Lillard is going to be a top 2 option for you. Now, I made the case yesterday that Damian Lillard's the best point guard in the game still to this day, and it goes for 10,000 MT. The dude's got 37 base badges. He has a smooth release, has stop and pop, has a ton of other very, very key and important badges. As far as auctionable point guards are concerned, outside of Chris Paul, I think Damian Lillard might be the best. And that's just my opinion. I love Chris Paul and what he can give you, but Dame is a hooper. He is an absolute hooper. I don't like using that term lightly, but Damian Lillard's a hooper. Can create his own shot from the three-point line, can dunk the ball. He does a lot of good things for you. Defensively, he's not going to be the best option, but for a 10,000 MT, a start at the point guard position, Damian Lillard is very, very solid. Not the shooting guard position. I'm going to talk a little bit to you guys about Jerry Sloan. Now, Jerry Sloan's going to be basically a 180 of what a guy like Damian Lillard gave you. With Jerry Sloan, here's what you're going to get. You're going to get a base of 59 total badges at 6'5". He's going to be able to knock down shots. But defensively, that's where Jerry Sloan's really, I think, going to excel, right, on the defensive end of the court. He is only 6,000 MT, so for that value, I think he's a very, very solid option. Initially, I was going to plug Paul Westphal in there, but the more I use Paul Westphal at the shooting guard position, I'm just like, he just stands there for me on offense when I got a guy like Dame, so why not plug in Jerry Sloan, who's just going to give me a little bit more on defense. Again, do I think he's great for his value? I think he's okay right now. There's a lot of these Sapphires, Colossal players that I personally like a little bit better, but Jerry Sloan's fine. I think he's a solid option if you need a guy to just kind of hold it down at that shooting guard position. Now, at the small forward position, you're going to plug in one of the best budget options in all of 2K, and that's Cade Cunningham. I mean, you look at the card initially, 6'8". I get it. The dude doesn't have that many badges. Has a total of 22 badges, I think. But here's the thing. Going to be able to shoot the ball well. Has a decent enough release. 6'8". He's just going to hold it down. He can do a little bit of everything on the court for 1,000 MT. It's going to be hard to get a lot better than all the Colossal Sapphires. You got him, you got Jalen Green, you got Anthony Edwards. Those 3 guys are absolutely solid. And even you throw Michael Porter Jr. in there, those 4 guys can do a lot of great things for you guys. All 4 of those guys are going to be in this lineup. It's just who can you surround them with, because all 4 of those guys are absolutely incredible. Got the power forward position that I'm going to plug in here. Might be a guy that a lot of you guys have heard a little bit about, but haven't really talked about as much, is Pascal Siakam. Now, initially, I was like, okay, he's going to be that center type player that a lot of people are going to want. But the more I use and the more I see Pascal Siakam, the more I think he fits that power forward kind of button. Can you use him at center? Absolutely. Is he a top center in the game? Absolutely. But I think at the power forward position is where he can be even better. I'm starting to notice that height, especially defensively, means more than a lot of people are realizing this early on in 2K. And so if you throw Pascal Siakam in there at the 4, you're going to get a guy that can be kind of a spot-up guy on offense, can make a few plays, but defensively is really going to excel. At the center position, we're going to plug in a new primetime player in Marvin Bagley III. The dude can do it all. Offensively, very talented, has a decent 3-ball. Defensively, going to be able to hold it down. Now, part of the reason I'm throwing Pascal Siakam into the starting lineup is because Marvin Bagley isn't next level defensively. So having a guy like Pascal Siakam beside Marvin Bagley is just going to help Marvin out. Now, I'm a big Marvin Bagley fan in 2K. I always have been, and I think I always will be. A card that goes for less than 2,000 MT. Might be the best value player in all of 2K. So when it comes down to my starting guys, that's who I'm going and rolling with. Again, under 25,000 MT for the starters here. And that's just absolutely incredible when you start to think about it. At the bench, we're going to start it off with this guy right here, Ruby Jason Terry. Again, after Dame, I think there's kind of a drop-off. You got Jason Terry, or you got guys like Mike Bibby, guys that I've used that I have a decent amount of success with. But Jason Terry for 5,000 MT is fantastic. It just starts for Jason Terry with the badge count, right? It starts with the badge count. And not only that, right? Not only the badge count, but if you look at Jason Terry, you're going to get a guy that has a smooth release. 47 base badges, smooth release, 86 3 ball. I get it. Defensively, 69 lateral quickness. He's going to slow you down maybe a little bit, but he's got good speed, got a good release. Even if you don't want to use Jason Terry at your point guard, if you want to use him as a shooting guard, a secondary ball handler, you can do that as well. But I think as far as just the draft mode in general, anytime I get Jason Terry or Damian Lillard, I'm comfortable playing with those cards. So hopping in here at the shooting guard position, said it a while ago. I kind of ruined a lot of these players that we're going to plug in here. We're going to plug in Jalen Green. Again, badge count might not be too crazy. You might not be blown away by it. But I promise you, if you've played with Jalen Green, you're going to know what you're going to get. A guy with a smooth release, 16 base badges. Stat-wise is fine, 6'6". He's just an all-around solid option. I mean, again, he's only a Sapphire. I get it. But he's just a solid option that if you want to go into Unlimited and compete, you're not going to notice him be an absolute liability. And that's the big thing with all these Sapphires that I'm going to plug in here. You got Cade, you got Begley, and you got Jalen Green. All three of those guys are under 2,000 MT, and all of those guys are very, very solid. Now, Anthony Edwards is our next guy we're going to plug in here, and he's going to give you something a little bit different, right? So far, we don't have anybody that can attack the rim like Ant on this, but Ant can attack the rim. The new contact dunk feature on 2K, you can see what it's like holding down on the right stick with Anthony Edwards with a 95 driving dunk. Does a lot well for you. Look at the gold badges, limitless takeoff, fearless finisher, and posterizer. Badges that are going to help you, trigger that animation, give you the bigger dunk green window. Combine that with the ability to shoot the ball again for less than 2,000 MT. He's close to 1,000 MT. It's just tough to beat it, right? It's tough to beat those types of level of players. I mean, this early on in 2K, I just think you got to take what you can get with Anthony Edwards, and the dude is absolutely fantastic. Guy at the power forward position, I think I put at A tier on my power forward tier list, was Michael Porter Jr. Guy that can stretch the floor and just be a pure shooter offensively, right? He's got a smooth release. Combine that with his 6'10 frame, just smooth operator is Michael Porter Jr. Offensively, you look at it, 85 3-ball, can dunk, and then his speed and lateral quickness aren't terrible for the power forward position. Is he as good as on defense as Siakam? No. I don't even think it's close. But for their value, I like Michael Porter Jr. over Pascal Siakam right now. I still think Siakam's a much better overall player. But don't sleep on Michael Porter Jr. He's another guy that if I get MPJ in the draft mode, I'm comfortable using him. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Not the center position. I'm going to talk about two guys. The first guy I plugged in here is a guy that if you want a big center, is a good guy to have, and that is the Dikembe Mutombo. If you want a big center, I saw him used in some comp games yesterday. He is that guy. An inside center, but defensively he's going to be very, very disruptive, super tall, can combat guys like Shaq, like Wilt, like Tim Duncan, and can play very, very solid defense. On the flip side of things, if you want to stretch big and want more offense and a guy that might get fried on the defensive end of the court, you got Lauri Markkanen. I probably prefer Lauri Markkanen personally for the MT, 3,000 MT right now. But again, you could go either way. I don't think there's a necessarily right or wrong answer at the backup center position. Either way you go, you're still looking for a squad around 40,000 MT, and I think either of those options is just fine. So guys, when it comes down to a budget squad or some of the top budget players in the game, here's what I'm going to give you. Now, the point guard position is probably the toughest position to come up with budget guys for. Again, on my own account, I've got Kyrie. So, I mean, token rewards, even if you look at like some of the, you got the Vault reward, who's solid as far as point guard. You got the Bob Cousy in domination. You got a lot of these free rewards at the point guard position. So that's why I don't think the point guard position is something I would worry about right away as far as filling my lineup if I'm you guys. Dame and Jason Terry are probably pretty expensive overall when you relative to, I mean, who else is on this list. You got a lot of those Sapphires for decently cheap. So that's just something that I'm thinking about early on in my team, right? Not to overspend on the point guard position, but if you need the rest of these positions, they are definitely decently cheap. But that is going to wrap it up for the video today, guys. Hopefully you did find it pretty useful for you guys. And again, it's early on in my team, so this is just my opinion. Comment some of your budget ballers down below in the comments for those of you guys who are looking for them. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.